So I was on the Destiny in Charleston. I was up there. That's what
Welcome guests, our program will begin in exactly 1 minute. Thank you. Welcome everyone, welcome. Please feel free to take your seat. We're going to get started. It's 6 o'clock and we want to make sure that we have everyone on time and out of here. And we're not holding you hostage for the night. So thank you all. Please feel free to take your seat. We're going to go ahead and get started with our event for the evening. All right. So welcome again. Good evening. I'm Anita Ellington. I serve as the Vice Chair of the African American Leadership Council of Trident United Way. So thrilled to have you all here with us this evening. Thank you for coming. So this has been really our first event since the pandemic. And if you're like me, I know you were ready to get out of the house and get out and socialize with everyone. So thank you for being here. Fabulous to see all of you here today. This is our 7th year as a donor network of Trident United Way. So that is an amazing thing for an African American. And we have so much to celebrate and share with you all today about our members, about the work that we've done in the community. And I really just want to start by introducing our first speaker. Our first speaker is Stephanie Pope Singleton. She is the current chair of the Trident United Way African American Leadership Council. Stephanie has been a member of AALC for 5 years, and she has more than 25 years of experience in public health, community organizing, and philanthropy. She is a former Subway franchise owner, a public health and HIV nurse, and is a project manager for The Movement, which is a nonprofit organization that facilitates healthcare access in underserved communities. Ms. Singleton has served the Tri-County community through board and council leadership roles with a dozen different nonprofit organizations. Ms. Singleton's passions lie in ensuring that the underrepresented have access to resources that will enable better health outcomes. Because of that passion, Ms. Singleton proposed the idea that has now become a hallmark AALC event, which is our annual Lunch and Learn. Stephanie lives in Somerville with her husband Arnold of 29 years, who's also on the board of directors for Trident United Way and is an AALC member as well. In addition to all of their community involvement, I won't say them all. They have 3 beautiful children. She's done a lot of graduation, prom graduation in the last couple of days. Busy lady. If you could please help me welcome our chairwoman, Ms. Stephanie Singleton.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am loving what I'm seeing. Y'all have no idea how long this took to come to fruition. So thank you again for taking time out in the middle of your week to join us. Thank you to Vice Chair Monifa for that warm welcome and introduction. We appreciate your hard work and dedication to Trident United Way. I would like to take a moment and thank all of our Alliance members who make above and beyond investments. Because of their support, no donor dollars are being used for us to gather here tonight. Your gifts serve our community. To South State Bank, Ingevity, Santee Cooper, and many organizations and individuals who have supported the African American Leadership Council book drive over the years, we also thank you very much. Our Lunch and Learn events have focused on the disparities within the minority communities with topics such as mental health, I can't ever say that when I get ready to, maternal mortality rates, breast cancer awareness, and heart disease. This is our 7th year in our annual book drive, which places books into the hands of students from child development, CD classes, up to 3rd grade in 3 local Title I elementary schools. We visit classrooms that have opportunities to read to the students, which has been a gift for both them and us. They have some interesting questions about those books. So what is our goal, you might be asking, so you can go ahead and help us reach it tonight. Our goal is 2,800 books this year, and we currently have more than 1,200. Last year, under the guidance of our past chair, Sonia, we reached 2,300 books. So this year we need 28, okay? You can help make an impact and help us reach that goal. The cards on your table include the QR code, and you can scan with your phone and it takes you directly to the Amazon wish list. The books have been pre-selected by teachers and are ready for you to purchase right now as this program is going on. I will not feel offended if you all take out your phones. I don't have a problem with it at all. It will not be rude. But we need you to go ahead and add some books to your Amazon list. And anytime throughout the evening, please continue to add books to the Amazon list. Working together to serve our community takes a community. All of us who want to help make a difference. So thank you again for considering joining us to do the work to bridge the gap. And now, I have the pleasure of introducing our MC for the evening, Mr. Raphael James. Raphael is an award-winning news anchor for WCSC's Live 5 News. His nearly 30 years of journalism experience have afforded him unique opportunities from the Trident United Way African American Leadership Council, and it is excited that all of you have, hold on. Yeah, it's all right. Mr. James. We just have a little bit out of order. Everybody have the other sheet? Thank you for saving today. All right, let's start all over again. You deserve it. Raphael is an award-winning news anchor for WCSC's Live 5 News. His nearly 30 years of journalism experience have afforded him unique opportunities, from one-on-one interviews at the White House to reporting on the massacre at the Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston. The program at your table includes additional details about Raphael's professional journey and numerous career accomplishments. Like many of us, what he would say he is most proud of is his family. He is happily married to his college sweetheart, Serena, and they have 2 beautiful daughters, Jaden and Mia, and a handsome son, Grant. Please help give a warm welcome to our MC for the evening, Mr. Raphael James.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. It is my pleasure to be here. You got me off of the 6 o'clock news. I'm sorry. But I'd much rather be here to herald you and applaud you for all the work that you're doing in your community. How many of you love the Charleston area? So much of what you see when you go downtown is put on, postcards and sent out all over the country. Come down to Charleston and see Charleston. But what really makes Charleston attractive is what doesn't go through the community, the visitors board. It's the work that you're doing, the quality of life that you're doing with your time, your donations, your passions to make this area better. So I applaud you and give yourselves a round of applause. Community is very important, and it is important for us to take a moment to understand that, reflect on that, and celebrate the accomplishments of this group and the way you propel us forward to a continued and bright future. Right now, I want you to put your eyes here on the screen. We're going to have a video that explains all of that, captures some of the activities and gatherings of the Trident United Way African American Leadership Council since it began. I see you Trident United Way. Put your hands together. This group has been putting in the work. Congratulations. It shows, and it's needed in our community. Next, we're going to spend some time hearing about the mission fulfillment work that's happening all throughout the areas, and many dedicated volunteers and the community impact team at Trident United Way. It's my very special pleasure to introduce you to Amanda Lawrence. She's the Vice President of Community Impact of Trident United Way. She served as Director of Financial Stability from 2009 to 2015 and was named Vice President of Community Impact in 2016 as part of the United Way's national search. Prior to joining the organization, she worked in various marketing roles nationally and regionally in nonprofit development and in television marketing sales at Line 5 News. That's right. Line 5 News. That's where I first met Miss Amanda Lawrence. I came to Line 5 as a spry young man in November of 2002, 20 years ago. And Amanda was there, and she was so smart and intelligent, and always had her hands on the pulse of the community, always knew what was going on. And I see nothing has changed. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and join me in welcoming Ms. Amanda Lawrence.
Thank you, Raphael, and I can say the same for you. As many of you know, Raphael is not just at Live 5 as a news anchor, but really deeply rooted and embedded in our community in really taking time with students and with others to really demonstrate leadership and servant leadership in our community. So I appreciate him so much and cherish my time that I've had at Live 5. I was bragging on you and your gifts to the community. And so I appreciate you. Thank you for that. I'm just going to take a few minutes to share with you a little bit about what we are doing in community impact. I will also share that Superintendent Jackson has an emergency. He may or may not be able to come back to be able to do his presentation. There is a student that they're trying to identify that a family is looking for, and so he's trying to manage that situation. I'm sure everyone understands that. So I will start with our community impact strategy, and a lot of times, and it's great to see some familiar faces in this room and people who've been part of this work for years and years and years, but many times people will ask, what does Trident United Way do in the most simple terms? And if you look at the little framework there, this really is a pathway for how we work with our community, starting with assessing needs and then developing those strategies and ultimately improving lives. And you'll notice I said with the community. We don't do anything to the community. We don't do anything for the community. We truly believe that we cannot do anything that we are not in community and listening to the community to understand what the community needs. And you see the inverted triangle. As part of that, we have 3 networks, our Healthy Tri-County Initiative, and we have our former Healthy Tri-County Health Director, Renee Linier-Gary, who is here. Our Safety Net Assistance Network, which really works with coordination of basic needs and financial stability, and our Kindergarten Readiness Network, which really focuses on birth to 8 in a preventative way, because we want to reach children and families early to give them the supports that they need to be successful. So those are composed of about 700, well, exactly, I just looked at the number, 779 organizations in our Tri-County area that are working together to affect change and to really lead priorities that need change within our communities. Those are data-driven priorities that they set. Those are supported by Trident United Way initiative. So we see ourselves aligning with community priorities rather than community priorities aligning with United Way. We then use our voice in public policy and advocacy to focus on those same priorities that are set by the community. And we invest in some of those dollars. So I have to thank my AALC members. Many of you served on our review councils for grants to make sure that in the past grant cycle, it was well over $2 million. In the previous grant cycle, it was well over $3 million went to organizations that were doing great work in our community. So that our voice from AALC was not only part of United Way, but part of the process in funding those organizations that are doing great work. So I have to give a shout out for that. And as United Way, we look to accelerize and or catalyze that systems change through other funding. And so the program that Renee is now leading or overseeing, I should say, overseeing Access Health, she was the former director, was a program that we provided funds for to establish a diabetes hub, diabetes prevention hub, best in class in the Tri-County area, so that all programs that focused on diabetes and pre-diabetes could be learning best practices. And then finally, we do provide those grants that I talked about earlier for the community, but all of these things are aligned with those community-driven priorities to make sure that we are addressing priorities for the community, we are being nimble in what we are doing, and that we are executing a strategy that is truly helping in many ways in multiple levels to see that community change and ultimately to improve lives. In education, this is just an example of some of the programs that we're working with. We are also partnered and proud partners with Berkeley County School District, and if Superintendent Jackson is able to come back, he'll talk about some of those programs. But we are looking at literacy, so 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten is a partnership that we have with the school districts as well as our library partners and others. We also sponsor Literacy United, which is a reading and literacy intervention that helps to ensure that children are reading on grade level by 3rd grade for those who are starting school behind or starting school or have fallen behind from a number of factors that impact children and students. And then we've started a new convening in education called the Meeting of the Minds, where we bring together all 4 school districts, curriculum specialists, and others in the school district for them to have a forum and an opportunity to talk about those issues that are in the school, things that we can come along and support. Not that we are doing to the school, because we are not an institution, we are not a district, but how we are coming alongside to support what they are doing. In financial stability, we are focused on food insecurity, and so we're proud to launch food access in Berkeley County through Food Share Berkeley. You'll be hearing a lot more about this. Again, that data told us that this was an opportunity for us to partner with a statewide organization, and you can see the statistics there of the residents that are eligible for SNAP benefits and those that are actually getting them. So we want to make sure that that gap is filled. We also want to make sure that they have healthy fruits and vegetables and access to that, access to recipe cards and going to the grocery store and a lot of other programs and products that are part of this to help people live better, to have that access to food. You can see that the stores that in many of the rural areas there near St. Stephen's, Jamestown, the stores, they have very few stores, and we call that a food desert. And we want to make sure that we are providing food and access to food through this program in Berkeley County as a start, because that's where the data showed us the priority started. We're proud to partner again with Berkeley County School District in this program and ensuring that children within the school district also have access to this program. And then in health, and this is a busy slide, but I will just highlight some of the accomplishments. This is another one of our network initiatives. It is a multi-sector regional initiative, and we have core partners with MUSC, Roper St. Francis. We are looking at Trident joining us in this work, as well as Franklin C. Fetter, federally qualified healthcare centers as part of this work. They are partners in what we're doing, but our core partners are actually investing in the work and have been there from the start and helping accomplish those things you see on the screen. So within 5 years, we've conducted 2 community health needs assessments. We're conducting one again right now, and Renee is helping us lead those efforts. We also hosted conversations on race and health equity, and all of the work of Trident United Way is done with a lens of equity. Our health work in particular focuses on race and health equity because of the disparities in healthcare that we've seen that were highlighted throughout the pandemic, and we knew existed before that time. So having that dialogue and conversation has been always an important part of this work. You see the number of formal organizations who actually sign a pledge to be part of the work. And then the health symposiums are now going into their 5th year of bringing together all of those sectors in not just healthcare, but in education, in financial stability. We see those things as inextricably linked to come together to talk about health disparities. During the pandemic, vaccine hesitation was a huge focus for this effort. And through those efforts, we were able to really support the education of our community and learning about vaccines and also having access to vaccines. So that's just a snapshot of what we do in community impact. Again, I want to thank you all because you all are a part of this and have been as AALC from the very beginning. It seems like just yesterday we had our inaugural meeting. And so we're just happy to have the opportunity to fellowship today and share with you some of the harvest of the hard work. Some of you who were here at the beginning remember me talking about these things as just concepts, but now you can see that they've truly come to fruition. So thank you for your participation and your thought leadership.
Thank you very much, Amanda. I didn't know I would be here and get breaking news. Superintendent Jackson had to leave. For him to leave this event, it required his serious attention. So if you don't mind, just take a moment to send good thoughts and hope that everything will be fine. Thank you. Now I'd like to bring up Ms. Sonia Hansen to talk with you about the book drive and the efforts that they have put forward in that regard. Please give her a hand as she comes in.
So no, I am not Dion, clearly. I just wanted to thank everyone for being here tonight, of course, and I wanted to come up and really just say just a few words about our book drive, because as you all know, for most of you in this room, this book drive is really critical to our kids in our community. And even though Dion could not be here to speak on the amazing work that is being done with Berkeley County, and we are actually partnering with them, so excited about that. I know Amanda is, and Chloe, but we just want to remind you that we have had 2 years of our kids being in virtual learning. 2 years. That has affected our children in our community, our communities, a whole lot. And we know that the purpose of us being here is not only to make an impact for our community, but to make sure that our kids can read by 3rd grade. That is a huge initiative of Trident United Way. And as far as AALC, it has been an initiative for us for almost 7 years strong, and we are not going to stop now. So I personally wanted to share with you the reason that the book drive is important to me. And some of you know that story already. It is not a story. I consider it a testimony of my own father, who, when I was growing up, could not read. My father actually went to college. Could you imagine going to college? He actually played the trombone. So because he played the trombone, he was able to get a scholarship, but he could not read the words that were on the sheets. He would hear the music and play it. He went to college, did not finish, but he had to stop going to school at a very early age. And back then, what did you do? You worked to take care of the family. That's what you did. And he did that. But the key is that my father learned to read in his late 30s. He was almost 40 years old. And we call it a pure miracle because the first thing he learned to read, as you can imagine, was the Bible. We laugh about it all the time, but he could not even read Cat in the Hat. But imagine fast forwarding now, right now today in 2022, there are students that are out there that cannot read by 3rd grade. Can you imagine that? I look at Jennifer, who does amazing work in our community with our young people, and I'm sure she's seen that. We've been in the classrooms where students have been just excited, overjoyed about the fact. I know that Dawn's been there, and Chloe's been there, and Steph's been there, Monifa and Renee. We've all been there. We've read those books to those students, and it's like receiving a gift, like candy to them. They want you to keep reading. So the joy that we're going to bring to kids by fulfilling our goal, and we will reach it, right? I know Thomas was thinking to himself. Thomas, by the way, is one of my amazing managers, and Betty Jo. I basically shared with them that I was winning an award tonight. And they were like, oh, that's so awesome. That's great. And I said, and by the way, I need $1,000 in the next email to go towards our book drive because we need to reach our goal. And not even a short while later, guess what I got back? Of course, anything we can do. There are people like you in the community that make an impact. So tonight, don't just look at the QR code sitting in front of you. Yes, it is right behind the actual table. We need you to click on that link tonight before you leave. And even if it's just one book, every book matters. These kids take 5 to 6 books home with them in their little bags after we read them to them, and they have those for their summer reading. We've heard stories like this. I don't have any books at home. I can see my AALC members and Chloe shaking their heads. We don't have any. Thank you so much for these books, gently used or new. They are grateful. So my plea to you today is, let's make this event exactly what we want it to be, to bring us together to celebrate the awesome successes that we've had, but also to remember that there is a purpose between everything Trident United Way does. There is a purpose. Our purpose tonight is to celebrate and to give those books. So we're gonna help meet that goal, right? I know they're gonna check tomorrow. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, y'all just parked it on up last night. Because every single one of you, I know y'all are giggling. Yes, I'm normally always like this. My kids know it. Except for when I'm really tired and grumpy. We're not gonna talk about that tonight. But we know tomorrow we're gonna have made an impact because each one of us is gonna click on that code and we're gonna donate books. Thank you all again for being here. Yes, you'll hear from me a little bit later on, but we are so grateful for you all tonight. Thank you. Back to our awesome Raphael. Isn't he amazing?
Readers are leaders. It's absolutely true. Man, I remember going on trips sometimes to visit relatives, and those who had a television set, it was cool. But those who didn't have a television set, we had to make sure we brought a lot of books. I mean, a lot of books. Loved reading. All right, now it's time to get to the business of honoring some of you. And to do that, I'm going to need some help. Need a few helping hands. Stephanie, Monifa, and Chloe, if you would please join me up at the podium for the presentation of the African American Leadership Council Award. Stephanie, it's all yours.
Okay, ready? So first order of business is, since we didn't get to gather last year for any kind of events really, we are a little delayed in honoring our previous African American Leadership Council chair as we would have liked to. Our chairperson serves this group and the larger organization of Trident United Way through dedicated leadership as a voting member of the board of directors. The chair also reports out on AALC activities and shares the points of view of the donor network. Tonight, we are grateful for the leadership demonstrated by our AALC past chair, who served during the 2020-2021 fiscal year for Trident United Way, and that would be none other than Mrs. Sonia Hanson.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you. She leaves her gift on the table. So next, we will announce this year's AALC Leadership Award winner, Community Leadership Award winner. I'd like to share with you the criteria for this award. I'm smiling because this was a lot of thought and process in even creating this award, and then determining who would be the recipient was an amazing thing. It was hard because we're few in number, but Lord have mercy, the people who are here, they work tirelessly, effortlessly, and give it everything they have. So let me tell you what the criteria is. The AALC Leadership Award Community Leadership Award is bestowed upon an African-American individual within the Tri-County community who embodies the spirit of living united and helps make our community a better place to live, work, and play. Award winners demonstrate a commitment to providing equitable outcomes for their underprivileged neighbors by investing financial resources, time, and talent, and leadership to improve the education, financial stability, and health of our community. Award winners are strategic in their philanthropy and committed to making an impact within the communities that they live and serve throughout nonprofit partnerships. This individual, number one, is a leader in the community. Number two, is committed to providing equitable outcomes for the underserved. Number three, invested financial resources, time, talent, and leadership to make an impact in the Tri-County area. Number four, supports the Trident United Way values, missions, and goals. The winner of the 2020 African American Leadership 2022, I'm all the way back, 2022 African American Leadership Council Community Leadership Award is none other than Mr. Don Smith. So, take a picture first. Picture. Say about you, young man.
Thank you.
Good.
Don and his beautiful wife, Frances, live in Charleston and have three incredible daughters, Victoria, Sierra, and Gabrielle. As the Director of Community Relations at Hendrick Automotive, it is a part of Don's job description to be out in the community. And clearly, this is a personal mission for him. His love for the betterment of people and our community shines through with each event he attends. He has been involved with Trident United Way since 2017 with his acts of service through Day of Caring committee member. He starred in a video promoting the 20th annual Day of Caring, participates in Read Across America, Trident United Way's Day of Action, and has served as a board member and as a member of the Program Investment Review Council. And of course, a tried and true leader within our African American Leadership Council. Outside of Trident United Way, Don has served on several boards such as Somerville Chamber of Commerce, the Salvation Army, My Sister's House, Charleston Leaders, and many others. Don has proven to be a tireless champion for our community.
First of all, I want to thank God because He knew my talent. I didn't. I've been in retail for like 46 years. I didn't know my talent, but He knew my talent. I thank my wife for supporting me the whole time because a lot of people know you got a strong woman. Sometimes she's like, really? She didn't say that. You know, I support Hendrick Automotive Group because I was in the retail business for 36 years. And when they offered me this position, you know, I didn't know nothing about the community. I was in a dealership 6 days a week, 7 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. So I didn't know anything about the dealership. But one thing Warren Buffett said, when you come to a fork in the road, take the fork. And that's how I end up here. And I thank Trident United Way because one thing, when I first got this position, I said, okay, I've been donating. What companies have I been donating my money to? Because I didn't have the time. And Trident United Way, I was donating money for 30 years to them. And I didn't, Brad Davis had set it up in a dealership where I was taking out my check. So I said, I'll go to Trident United Way first and start giving my time. And that's what I did. I started there. And it just rolled from there. They plugged me into this, they plugged me into that, they plugged me in. So they trained me, you know? So I thank Trident United Way also for why I'm here today.
Thank you again, Don, for all you do. Lastly, but definitely not least, we will honor the AALC Philanthropist of the Year. Let me share with you the award criteria for that. The AALC Philanthropist of the Year Award is bestowed upon an active member of the African American Leadership Council. The recipient is a philanthropic-minded individual who wholeheartedly exemplifies the motto, give, advocate, volunteer. This individual, number one, is a leader in the community. Number two, supports Trident United Way with time, funding, and talent. Also sets a standard for philanthropy and giving. And last, embodies the spirit of volunteerism. The winner of the 2022 African American Leadership Council Philanthropist of the Year is none other than our own Miss Sonia Hanson. Is the family good? Oh, the photographer says I am not.
Don't worry.
We good? All right. So Sonia was born and raised in Florida to a family of sisters and loving parents. She is married to husband Kirk Hansen, and they have 4 amazing children. I am going to call them by their government names. So she told me I didn't have to, but I'm going to respect them. Bernard, Kirk, Sonia, and Brianna. She is currently the vice president, branch manager at South State Bank, and serves as one of their community advocates. Sonia has been recognized by her industry for her embodiment of Trident United Way's Live United theme. South State Bank has tweeted about her passion for literacy and breast cancer, her support of autism awareness, Low Country Street Grocery, the homeless, and myriad other company engagements or community engagements. She is an active member of New Vision Cathedral, for which she is the praise dance coordinator and worship leader.
Where did y'all get this from?
That Google is something. Sonia is described as a woman of deep, abiding faith, consistent, steadfast friendship, and a strong love of people. And sunflowers, she loves sunflowers, strong love of sunflowers. Through company campaigns, Sonia started donating to Trident United Way in 2008 and became actively involved in 2015. Sonia has been the chair of South State Bank campaigns for the last 3 years and a strong advocate for the organization. She has proudly served on the board of Trident United Way as the immediate past chair of this illustrious donor network, and that would be the African American Leadership Council, and currently serves on the campaign cabinet to help raise funds, and has worked on the Day of Caring Committee. She has served in every capacity as a member and officer. Her love for Trident United Way knows no limits, as evidenced by the fact that she actually rappelled down the side of a building to raise awareness and money for Trident United Way. If that is not dedication time, I don't know what it is. Also, Sonia and her committee have put this together. We'll talk about that a little later. I'm going to give her an opportunity to speak now before she starts crying and I start crying.
So many of you know me and I talk a lot. I'm not going to do that tonight. I just want to say that it is a beautiful thing to know that there are people in your life that really do care about other people. I'm looking out the audience and I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about all of you who showed up tonight. I'm talking about my Renee, who when she walked in the door, it was like, that's our Renee, who's moving on to another journey, but is still amazing. And Jennifer, and our awesome Akiva. I see you, sweetie. I love you. I see again looking at Chloe and looking at Kelly and Christy over here in the corner, and Michelle and Amanda and Louise. There she is. And to our chair and vice chair, who are just simply amazing, and to Dawn, who he knows I respect so much. I'm just going to say that God is good. He is so amazing, and at a certain point in my life, I don't share this too often, but I started to share it recently. People ask me, why do you do what you do, and why do you give everything that you have? But my two beautiful, amazing kids over there, and the most giving and caring and supportive husband in the world, you know, we didn't have anything in our refrigerator. I didn't have anything to feed my kids. We were homeless and we were poor. And I do not take it for granted that there is an amazing God up there in heaven that decided that he wasn't done with me yet. And he blessed me to come here to South Carolina and to meet an amazing group of people, to work for a bank that actually cares about people and is willing to give, and to meet all of you. He gave it all back to us, even though we didn't have anything. And when I mean nothing, we couldn't even feed my kids. I went hungry because I didn't have Trident United Way to support me. I fed my kids, I fed my husband, and I didn't eat. So I understand what the work that we do for Trident United Way, I get it. I get the work that every single dollar that you all donate, books, food, whatever it is, I get it. But you guys, my grandmother used to say something. I'm wearing pearls for her tonight. Yes, Granny, you're with me. She used to fix chicken dinners and sweet potato pies and pound cakes. And in the middle of the night, if someone called her, I don't care if it was 10:30 at night, and trust me, it would be late, and said they were hungry, she would load us all up in the car, and we would go to a house and have to go drop off food. And we used to say, Grandma, why couldn't have waited till the morning? And she used to look at us and say, did you eat tonight? If I have, someone else has, no matter how little or small. And that is what I grew up with two parents who believed in giving back. So here we are today. And I'm going to close with this. That it does not matter what you do with your time and with your efforts. It is about caring enough to do it. Don't worry about recognition. One day like today, by my own, which is so even more special, you will get someone that taps you on the back and says you made a difference for them. That is what matters. And if you never get that tap, just remember, you showing up tonight. It makes a difference. That means you care. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate my family. I love them so much. And AELC, we are it. We do the work we do because we care, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, and I am more than humbly honored.
So I'm going to call back to the podium, Mr. Raphael James.
One more round of applause for the recipients, please. Thank you both for all that you've given us. And Sonia, you made my allergies start acting up. It's a beautiful story, and it does put into very clear language why you do what you do, and I think it inspired all of us in here. It certainly did me. Thank you. Hats off to you. So next we're going to hear from President and CEO of Trident United Way, Chloe Knight-Tani. I'd like to call her up in a moment, but before she gets up, I'd like to thank Trident United Way and AALC again for the opportunity to be here tonight. It's been a pleasure meeting each and every one of you and hearing the stories and seeing the work that you do. Congratulations again to the award winners. Now, Chloe Knight-Tommy joined the Trident United Way team in 2019 as President and Chief Executive Officer. Previously, she served for 17 years at the National Foundation for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Many of you probably never heard of that, right? In Atlanta, Georgia. Most recently, as the Chief Innovation and Strategy Officer. She has more than 30 years of overall nonprofit advancement, strategy, and management experience with deep expertise in higher education and in building scientific public-private partnerships. She got her bachelor's degree in political science and international relations from the College of Charleston, right here, and honorary doctorate of humane letters from the College of Charleston. Her husband, Rick, is a graduate of the Citadel. Put your hands together for Chloe.
I have to bring the microphone down, sir. Raphael, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Thank you for being here tonight. It is such a pleasure to be live in person with you and live in person with everyone after what has been a roller coaster ride of a pandemic. And so thank you for your enormous dedication and your leadership across this community and across this region. We're grateful to you, sir. Thank you. Today's celebration has come to fruition thanks to the commitment of our AALC leaders and excellent steering committee. And we do everything that we do at Trident United Way is powered by our volunteer leaders. So I want to say a special thank you to all of you for the depth of your care for this community, the care and tending of this community. And Sonia, I want to thank you for reminding us of the urgency of now, because our community cannot wait. So the work that you do is changing lives every single day. Please remember that. This treasure network is making things happen. Thank you for embracing Trident United Way, our programs, our initiatives that are focused particularly on lifting more students to achieve reading proficiency by that all-important third grade benchmark. Because of generous community support and Trident United Way's very own African American Leadership Council, to date, nearly 7,500 books for summer reading have been shared and distributed to deserving schools. That is absolutely outstanding. That is a high water mark, and we're about to exceed it. 7 years of growth and progress, and let us not forget, as we never will, that 2 of those 7 years were during a pandemic, a once-in-a-century pandemic, and you persevered in spite of those odds. With the way you're pacing right now, we are very likely, you are very likely to surpass 10,000 books when we get the final tally. We have a grateful community for it. And just to emphasize why this matters, perhaps some of you have heard of the book gap. Anybody heard of the book gap? Okay. A study by Susan Newman and Donna Solano found that the ratio of books to children in middle-income neighborhoods is 13 books to 1 child. While in low-income neighborhoods, the ratio is 1 book to 300 children. Let me say that again. 1 book to 300 children. This LC Book Drive is bridging the gap as those bags of books are distributed to our local Title I schools. Could not be more timely. Additionally, researchers found that giving children 12 books to take home over the summer resulted in gains equal to summer school for lower income children and had twice the impact of summer school for the poorest of those children. The book gap is easier to erase than some of the more complex barriers that we all see and that we know about as related to poverty. It's a vital piece of the puzzle, and you are fitting it together and putting it in place so that more children and more families are equipped with more tools to thrive. Each of you are engaged in measurable community transformation. That's what we're about. I'd like to share a quote with you from a national board certified teacher named Justin Minkle. To help kids develop a love of reading, put great books in their hands. Then watch in amazement as their worlds change. That's powerful, and that's what you are doing for our children. Did you know that a home library of even 20 books creates a culture of reading and learning in the home? 20 books. Looking at the data, having 80 books in the home can help students reach an average level of literacy. This level continues to increase with the more books that are in the home. You and I both know the real why. It is the thousands of young scholars, and I emphasize scholars, that are benefiting and will benefit into the future because of the books they have received and the gift of your time as you visit classrooms and read to them, and I will add Amanda's words, with them, to and with our children. Think of all those sweet, smiling faces, delighted to have books of their very own. And let me just also say that if you have never been in a classroom and watched Sonia, watched Dawn sit and read to children in the big rocking chair, you're missing out because I forgot I was there to read. I was listening to them. So it is a remarkable experience. Being surrounded by books where children live helps them build vocabulary, increase awareness and comprehension, and expand their horizons, all benefiting them in adulthood, according to that study, and benefiting our communities firsthand. But beyond literacy, the study's authors found a correlation between homes full of books and both the ability to use mathematical concepts in everyday life. That's an important correlation. Connecting that to their ability to use digital technology to communicate with others. Books in the home make a difference well beyond literacy. There is that inextricable link that we talk about between education, financial stability, and health. The focus of the work of Trident United Way, the focus of the work that your engagement and your philanthropy makes possible. Thank you for accepting the charge. Thank you for being part of the family of donors, advocates, and volunteers that continue to fuel our community change, which is improving lives all across Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester counties. We are extremely grateful to each and every one of you. And now I am going to turn our program back over to our friend Sonia Hanson, who I believe has a few special things to say at this time. So I will turn it over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And if I can just stay, please.
Okay, I can do that. So,
In closing, I get to be the closer. So, but first, before I get to close, Sonia doesn't want me to close yet. I am going to say thank you so very, very much to Chloe, whose amazing leadership and always a friendly word, always a smile. There's not one of us that she doesn't know. There's not one issue or thing that's going on in the community that we are being part of, that she isn't involved in, and encouraging us to, okay, what can we get done? What do we need to get done? And for your amazing leadership, well, it's easy when you have a great leader. So for your amazing leadership, we say thank you so much. We want to honor you tonight. So come on.
You help us be great, so.
Remarkable. You ladies are absolutely remarkable.
Thank you so much. And, yeah, I know. Here's our own personal banner. Next, we'd like to have Mr. Raphael James come up. Really thank you for bringing your professionalism, your live vibe. Breaking news, because we did have some breaking news here. Professionalism to our event tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to help us present and just acknowledge the people who work so hard in the community. So we thank you so very much. And right here we have Vanna giving you your.
Just please stay for me. So we want to give a special thanks to the two people who lead and have led our AALC group for the last almost 2 years. And they were not expecting this, but I just want to say to them, we honor you, Stephanie and Munifa, for being absolutely amazing as our vice chair and chair. They are simply wonderful, and there is something special for them because the 2 bouquets on the table are actually for you. But we just wanted to say thank you. Your leadership has meant everything to us, and we will continue to grow and be amazing and meet the goal of the boat drive again this year because of your leadership. So thank you both so much. We appreciate you. Can we just stand and give them an applause, please? Thank you. And now I do have some special recognitions as well. They are not expecting this, but behind every program, behind every event, there are those who you will never really see their faces because sometimes they're hidden by a screen, but they do some amazing work. And we have had a committee of ladies who have worked so hard to make this happen. But we've also had behind the scenes young ladies who have worked tirelessly to make this happen tonight for us, even down to the last hour. So with that said, as I call your names up, just come on up for me real quick. It won't take long. See, I didn't talk much. To our awesome Kelly, Christy. Yes, she can talk in this one. There she is, folks. Come on up. To our Michelle, Amanda, and Monica. So you can go for this way because he's going to get a picture. But this is our team, you all. This is the A team. Our chair. Again, I know I pushed them, and I know they were probably sick of me thinking if you send one more email, just like Dawn was probably like, please stop, just leave it alone. I got it. No, really, I got it. Leave it alone. But I just want to say thank you to each and every one of these wonderful, wonderful people that are up here tonight because they worked hard. And many times you don't get to hear their names at events. but they have done so much work. So without further ado, Chair, can you please present them with their actual badge or their flowers? Yes, I had Michelle make her own flowers for herself. She did not know. They wanted me to put my script in the actual binder. I was like, no, I'm good. I won't put this one in here. So thank you so much.
We are a working organization.
We are a working
You're gonna make your
organization.
own flower. She doesn't.
Theirs are on the table. All right, and can we get pictures, please? Monica, you get a special. Yours are already on the table. So let's get a quick picture. Believe it or not, our program is actually almost done. Awesome. Let's give them one more big hand. Monica's are on the table, so she has a special ones that are on the table. But we do have one more special recognition. Before I recognize her, I just want to say we have a lot of special guests in the room that we have invited. I'm thankful for, again, both of my actual supervisors. They both showed up tonight from South State Bank, Thomas and Betty Jo. I appreciate your support more than I can tell you. So thank you, and the $1,000. Thank you. I just want to say that for the record. I'm not going to forget that. I'm going to swipe that card. I'm going to swipe that card.
I was gonna swipe that card anonymously, but in your
No,
honor.
you
and
can
in-
double
and in-
swipe that
Well,
card.
that's right, in your
Because we both
honor
have a card.
and in Don's honor.
No, we both have a card, so you can swipe yours and I'm gonna swipe my corporate card too. All right, let's
Sonia,
do the double work.
Sonia,
Yes.
we'd like to increase our sponsorship of the book app to 5,000.
I was gonna do it anonymously, but you need the recognition. So.
God. Oh my, okay. Well,
If I could only get her to stop talking.
I know, this would stop.
okay. Want to get me to stop? Oh my God. I think we just met our goals. Wow, this is awesome. Wow. No, seriously, I am joking. Oh my God, this is so cool. Okay. This is so much bigger than us, and we realized that tonight, right? It's so cool. Sorry. So, we do have one more special. Technically, there were two. I just want to thank Raphael for coming for me. As soon as I emailed him, it wasn't even a thought. His email response back was anything for you. And I just appreciate you and your time. And Serena letting you come. And thank you to Michael Miller, our first African-American Register of Deeds for Charleston County. Yes. I'm proud of you. Yeah, I want to say that in public. I'm very proud of you. It's been a hard 2 years and we support you. But really, there was one more recognition. Renee, please come up. You all may or may not know, but this young lady is very special. Oh my gosh, I am a hot mess. No, seriously, I'm a total hot mess. I can't, I just said I wanted to, I'm sorry. Wow, okay. So Renee has worked for Trident United Way tirelessly, fulfilling the mission that only she could have done. And although her journey is about to take her back to Roper, and we will miss her, her work with AALC, you all, has been amazing. She has not missed a meeting. She has made sure her input was there, making sure that, again, we went forward. And not only that, but our community has such a respect for this young lady. And the work that she's doing is just about to continue even more. And we love you, Renee, so much. And we could not let you come here tonight knowing that you're about to transition without saying we love you. We are so proud of you, so proud of you. And I'm glad that you came, and Papa Renee can see this. That's what we call him. That's not his name. That's the DJ. It's Papa Renee. We are just grateful that you have served, and you have served your community and Trident United Way well. So we just want to say thank you so much, and we appreciate you. And to you, and I'm going to sing now.
Thank y'all, I appreciate this. She was not expecting that. She thought that she could slide out of ALC and try to United Way quietly and go forth into that dark night. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, yes. That's why we stayed our clinic right there. So, again, with Raphael as our MC, thank you so very much. Dion is the main speaker who had to be called away. And when he whispered in my ear, we have a kid missing. And I was like, goodbye. You know, he said, I can't be here and have a child missing out in the community.
That's right.
And I was like, of course not, goodbye, we'll figure it out. So, again, we pray for that missing child. Hopefully it's just a little miscommunication, I'm praying. So we thank him in absentia. We know that he had some wonderful things to tell us about education and reading. And we thank you all for being with us. Chloe, as always, it's always good to hear from you. We appreciate all that you do. So this was a beautiful, wait a minute, I have something to say. We had 2 minutes. So about the reading, right? So one of the things that touched me, I come from a family of educators. I chose to be a nurse because I came from a family of educators, and y'all's kids is something else. Yeah. So one of the things that touched me when I first joined ALC, and we were reading in the classrooms, and we went to the schools to hand out the bags with 5 books in it. And the kids said, one little, I think it was a little girl, she got the books and she was kind of tentative and she kind of didn't quite know whether she should go sit back down or whether, you know, what we're doing with these books, who are these people? And we were like, this yours, and you go sit down. And she looked up and she said, these are mine? I don't have to give them back? Honey, I had to sit down for a second. She was amazed that those books were hers and she didn't have to give them back. Okay? So we may not realize the small things that we do. And I know that we are, so social media savvy and we want new everything, new shiny everything. And the Amazon list is amazing, but in your churches, in your sororities, in your fraternities, in your organizations, please continue to collect gently used books, okay? They don't care whether they're shiny and missing. They just care that they're theirs and they don't have to bring them back, okay? So continue to collect books. Continue to go out in your community. You can collect them all year long. We'll take them. We will take them. If they are a little too gently used, we do something else with them. But no, we don't just, no, they don't go to church, we do something else with them. But we do, gently used.
books are amazing. I have books in my library from growing up as a little girl from 1898. Some of y'all see them on my Zoom, they're in my library behind me. So I had to say that because it's more than just, okay, let's get these, Amazon lists and let's do this and let's take these pictures. That baby said, they mine. That just moved me. So moving on. So this was a beautiful event made special by all of you joining us. Congratulations again to Dawn and Sonia, okay? Our winners this year. And thank you to our amazing ALC committee who had the meeting after meeting, after meeting, after email, after meeting, to put this event together. So that would be Michelle, could y'all stand as I call your name? Michelle, Amanda, Sonia, and Monifa. Excuse me, please stand. Personally, as your chair, I have something for you guys. So y'all have to come with me. Just very quickly. We work at ALC. Thank you. Picture here.
No pictures, because Sardis made me ugly cry.
No, ma'am. I just wanted to, you good? All right. I just wanted to say thank you, because when they said, we want to do this and we want to do something different, something big. And I said, okay, what does that look like? And Sonia was like, if you don't mind, Madam Chair, y'all know, if you don't mind, I'll take over. And I was like, and you got it. I handed Amanda to her. She is the chair of the committee for this event. She, Monifa, Amanda, and Michelle have done all the legwork, all the footwork. All they did was call me and say, we're letting you know that we moved this. I'm sure you'll be okay with that, right? Yes. I'm letting you know that this is what's happening and this is who's speaking. Are you good with that? Yes. I'm letting you know that you need to be there. That's an amazing committee. That is an amazing committee. These women put it all together. And I thank them so much.
I'm gonna cry. Stop.
I just want to say that to them. Thank you. That's it. I promise. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Let me make sure. Let me check my notes. All right. So then we need to say thank you again to Kelly, Christy, Louise, for all of your hard work. This is the behind the scenes crew that make everything happen. All these little small things that you do is known for. They are known for excellence in programming. No I is undotted, no T is uncrossed, no little thing. I'm a general person, so whenever I'm working on something, I need to have detailed people with me. If y'all saw our blue sheet, it says 704, Stephanie says. 706, Sonia says. 708, I'm not exaggerating. And we appreciate you all for that. Thank you so much. The flowers this evening were generously arranged and donated by Michelle and her mother. And DJ Terry T. Renee Gary's father donated his DJ services for this event. So, please again, I know we're clapping a lot. Please just again, we y'all know that people are leaving this world very, very quickly. So we can't ever miss an opportunity to say thank you because you don't know when the next time you'll have that opportunity. So again, we're gonna clap one more time for everyone here. Our photographer, Greg Johnson. We thank you. We told him already in the meeting, we're not doing side angles. He's a young man, he doesn't understand this. All right. And last but not least, to Emily and Hall Signature Events. Is Emily in here? Okay, she's not here. Okay. Well, her staff, her whole staff, we're so thankful Okay, thank you. We are thankful for this beautiful venue and the incredible service you always provide to Trident United Way. Thank you again. And before we get into the really good part, the dancing, I want to leave you with this. There are two quotes from one of the most profound philanthropists of our time, who just so happens to be an African-American woman, Oprah Winfrey. The first one is, many things in life inspire philanthropy, such as your faith in humanity and your belief in the human spirit to overcome. Use your time to serve the world, and you will find that it also serves you. The second one is, I don't think you ever stop giving. I really don't. I think it's an ongoing process, and it's not about just being able to write checks. It's about being able to touch someone's life. Thank you all for being here, and now let's have some fun. Turn it up, DJ.